Let's talk
You
about.
need broad to complement the brain.
Okay, I want y'all to picture a Neanderthal in your mind's eye. You're probably seeing an absolute unit of an ancient human, muscly, barrel chested, and a bit heavy in the brow. For some of us, that beefy build might look familiar, courtesy of a Neanderthal gene that influences muscle growth. Hey y'all, I'm Erin. I'm a science reporter, and scientists have found that one of the genetic hand me downs some people inherited from Neanderthals is a version of a gene called the growth hormone receptor, a protein that is influenced by, as its name suggests, growth hormone, which is made by the pituitary gland. When the researchers outfitted mouse cells with a Neanderthal growth hormone receptor, those cells multiplied a whopping 40% more than those with the Homo sapiens version. The researchers also saw, when they combed through biobank data from over 1 million people across the world, folks carrying the Neanderthal gene tended to have slightly more muscle mass, 0.6 pounds or 285 grams on average, than people with the regular schmegular human growth hormone receptor. If you saw my last video on our ancient human ancestors, I touched upon how Neanderthals and ancient Homo sapiens did the deed around 50,000 years ago and kept at it for about 7,000 years until our evolutionary cousins began pulling a Gone Girl. Our genomes contain anywhere from 1% to 2% Neanderthal DNA, even more for some folks, thanks to this mingling. Scientists are still figuring out what these Neanderthal genes do for us. Some have been linked to immunity, mental health conditions, and even how easily you tan. Or not, no judgment here. But not everything is about us Homo sapiens. The researchers of this new study wanted to know why Neanderthals were such gigachads, because even though the Neanderthal genome was first sequenced over 15 years ago, scientists still don't know why these ancient humans were built like absolute tanks. Hugo Zieberg, who is an evolutionary anthropologist at the Karolinska Institute in Sweden and led the study, noticed that Neanderthals had a modified version of the same growth hormone receptor gene modern humans carry today. This growth hormone receptor encourages muscle and bone to grow when it interacts with growth hormone. As I mentioned earlier with the mouse cells, Zieberg and his colleagues noticed that the Neanderthal receptor didn't necessarily grab onto the growth hormone better than the modern human receptor, but once the hormone docked, the Neanderthal receptor appeared to crank that grow baby grow signal all the way up, encouraging the cells to make like rabbits. Unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you're taking this research, not all of us have this Neanderthal variant. Zieberg and company found it's most common among people with South and East Asian ancestry, reaching as high as 24% in one Pakistani population. It's least common among those of European and indigenous descent, ranging anywhere from 0.5% to 2% respectively. Folks carrying this Neanderthal gene also tended to have shorter tooth roots and a shorter mandibular ramus, which is this vertical part of your jaw. Neanderthals also shared those features. I want to be clear that a single gene doesn't make it a Neanderthal physique. The researchers studied just one piece of a much larger hormonal system involved in growth. Lots of genes, plus diet, physical activity, and environment come together to influence how much you can bench press, or a Neanderthal for that matter. So if you don't have our ancestors' genes for big gains, you can still get those the old-fashioned Homo sapiens way.